for your time. But firstly, let's start with the auto pack because it's not just the passenger vehicle counters. In the last 20 minutes or so, we are seeing the two-wheeler stocks are also on the move, and Bajaj Auto, TVS Motors, these stocks are doing pretty well. Laxmikant, help us analyze these stocks on the charts and any stock in particular that is looking good to you.
First of all, good morning to you all and thanks me for calling in your show. So talking about Nifty Auto sectoral indices, so that has consolidating above the levels of 20 DMA, and from last few sessions it has been trading in a narrow kind of band within the range of 24,200 to 23,800. So according to us, we are expecting breakout of the levels of 24,200, and then after we could see further upside momentum in Nifty sectoral indices toward the levels of 25,000. And among the Nifty auto sectorial indices, we like Hero Moto Co. So this stock has seen has given upside move within this consolidative range, and we expect that this upside momentum could extend toward the levels of 4,480 to 4,500. That would be the expected resistance for the Hero Moto Corp. And for last few sessions, it has been holding its 200 DMA levels, which is placed around the zone of 4,250. As long as it hold this level, we could see further upside breakthrough toward the levels of 4,500. And once it crosses this level, then we could see a further gaining strength toward the levels of 4,750 to 4,800. Now talking about Bajaj Auto, so this stock has seen a recovery from its lower level, and we expect that it could move higher in the upcoming sessions also. So yesterday it has tried to surpass its previous swing high, and we have seen a positive momentum in Bajaj Auto. So we expect that it could go higher toward the levels of 8,800, with downward support is seen near the zone of 8,170. And within the auto space, we have also picked Yescott. So Yescott is about to give falling trend line breakout on the weekly chart, and from last few days, it has also sustaining above its key moving averages, and we have seen bullish crossover in 20 and 50 DMA levels also. So overall, we are seeing strength in this escort. So we expect that it could move higher toward the levels of 3,650, whereas our support is seen near the levels of 3,350. As long as it holds this support, we could see upside move in the escort.
Okay, that's that on some of the buzzing auto stocks. But Laxmikant, what's your sense on Paytm? The fact that, the pre-open rate indicated a gap up move of 10%, but since then the stock is completely fizzled out and now reverse trend as well. What's your reading on the charts?
Yeah, after giving the breakout of the levels of 975, we have seen quite a strong upside move in Paytm, and it has reached almost the levels of 1100. Then after we are witnessing profit booking in this stock, and it has formed bearish kind of candle on the daily chart. So we expect some more profit booking toward the levels of 990 to 980 zone. So that would be the expected support level for the Paytm for the short time, and if it able to hold this support, then after we could see some more sort of pullback move, and we could see positive momentum in this stock. But for the time being, we are seeing a throwback move toward the levels of 980 to 990.
What was surprisingly touted to be a big gainer today in the pre-open is now about 2.5% lower. So that's a take on Paytm. Laxmikant, hi, morning. Also give us a chart check on Biocon. Positive news flow coming in for the company. The stock is also holding up with gains of more than 1%, wherein their subsidiary Biocon Biologics, they've launched this drug called Nepexto, which is an autoimmune disease drug, and that's in Australia. That's where they have launched this drug. So positive for the stock price. Laxmikant, what's your reading on Biocon on the charts?
See, 3 to 4 days back, this stock has retested its previous swing high of 405, and then after reaching to that level, it started witnessing profit bookings, and it has also made a lower tops and lower bottom. But if we look at the structure in today's session, so it has been forming bullish belt hold candlestick pattern with the formation of piercing line pattern if we combine 2 days candle. So from here on, we could see some sort of pullback move in this stock toward the levels of 405 again. So that would be the upcoming resistance. And if it surpasses these levels of 405, then we could see further upside momentum toward the levels of 420. So from the current levels, risk reward ratio is looking favorable. Until it hold up the levels of 380, we could expect this breakout of the levels of 405, and then after 420 is the expected target in Biocon.
Right, so that's the day coming in on Biocon, but a lot of these earnings will also be in focus, and Dr. Reddy's is the one from the Nifty 50 pack coming out with its earnings today itself. And let's tell you what we are expecting on the earnings this time. So this time, the domestic formulation business is actually expected to grow by 11% on a YOY basis, while the North America sales is expected to see a decline of 10% on a YOY basis, because like we have been flagging off for the past 2 to 3 quarters, there has been increasing pricing pressure on one of their key drugs, that is G-Revlimid. Now, factoring in all of these, what we are expecting this time is revenue growth of almost 15%. 8,229 crores is what we are working with. EBITDA expected at 2,362 crores, while in terms of the margins, there could be a sharp decline on a YOY. There could be a small decline on a YOY basis, and 26.8% is what we are expecting on the EBITDA margin front. And lastly, on the profit figure, 1,562 crores is our expectation. So nothing major that is expected with respect to Dr. Reddy's earnings, but actually the key to watch out will be the management commentary, because the investor community will be more interested to know that how the tariff is impacting the industry, or rather can impact the industry going ahead as well, and whether or not they happen to maintain that double-digit revenue growth for FY26, for which they have guided earlier, with EBITDA margins expected to be above that 25% plus marks. So all eyes indeed on Dr. Reddy's, but just before the earnings, we are seeing the stock is absolutely flat in the trade right now. So that's about the earnings fine print for Dr. Reddy's. But along with that, on the bottom of your screen, you see MCX as well, because the trading that was halted on MCX since the word go has finally resumed on MCX, and a bit of a surge also that we are seeing on the stock price. But Laxmikant, with respect to the technical aspect, how do you analyze the stock of MCX?
The MCX is facing a profit booking from last few sessions, and it has been facing a struggle for moving on the upside toward the levels of 8,550, where its 20 DMA is also placed. So that would be the strong resistance for the MCX. However, on the downside, it has got some stability near the zone of 8,000. So that would be the expected support levels for the MCX. So I think if it able to hold the levels of 8,000, then after we could see some sort of pullback move toward the levels of 8,450 to 8,500. So from where we have to see that whether we will get that consolidation breakout on the upside or not. So once again we have to revisit that level. But according to us, 8,450 to 8,500 would be the strong resistance for the MCX. But for the short term basis, till it hold above the levels of 8,000, we could see upside move toward the levels of 8,450 to 8,500.
Let's revisit Paytm, and after what's turned out to be a stellar quarter for them, the fintech major reported its first operationally driven profit since its listing, aided by strong growth in lending and drop